Ethan Carter I didn't know, but he knew who I was. When the police won't help you and the priests don't believe you, you call on Paul Prospero. You call on me. If you're a kid like Ethan, you're right. Plenty do. Ethan's letter started out just like any other fan mail, but soon there were mentions of things no little boy should know about. There are places that exist that very few people can see. Ethan could have drawn a map. I hadn't entered Red Creek Valley yet, but already I could feel its darkness reaching out for me. Finding Ethan Carter wasn't going to be as easy as knocking on his door. I was too late for that. To find Ethan, I had to figure out what this place was trying to hide from me.
It was the first cold day of autumn. I was feeling a bit under the weather. Made myself a cup of tea, put on some warm clothes, and decided to play an adventure game. Decided to record a let's play of that adventure game. Decided to share that let's play on YouTube. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Weekend Slice, and welcome to The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Heard about this game a while back, mainly because it was using some interesting graphics engine technology, and then having already piqued my interest with that, I read about how the game was an adventure game with supernatural elements, with a completely, let's say, I wouldn't say innovative or unique, but let's say with an interesting approach to puzzles, and decided that I was going to get it because it looked really, really interesting, and I love this style of game. Although I haven't played many of them, I love this style of game. Although they're not in the same genre, Alan Wake, for example, is a game that I really, really like. So, what graphics engine technology are these guys using that is, makes them stand out a little bit? I mean, this is an Unreal Engine 3 game. Unreal Engine 3 is a bit old already, but as you can see, this game looks absolutely fantastic. Well, let me crouch next to this rock here. If you play yeah, sorry about that. Let's start over. If you pay close attention to the rocks and the trees, you might figure it out. They're using photographs of real-life objects as part of the texturing process, and they're doing this in such an advanced way where they're actually managing to make the photographs look like in-game textures, like high-def in-game textures, and not like some sort of photograph super glued onto some object. We've seen games use real-life things as textures, photographs of objects, people's faces and such, and the results have always been a bit unimpressive, to say the least. But if you look at this game and if you look closely at all of the details, I mean, this is an astonishing amount of graphical quality for a game that's not running on any sort of ultra high-tech engine. And despite the fact that I have an old video card, or it's a GTX 560 non-Ti, the game was kind enough to set itself at a high level of graphical details, at the maximum level of graphical details. I think it's the max from the beginning. Only the anti-aliasing is a 2 and not at a higher level, but I think it looks pitch perfect. I don't know much about the game's story. I mean, I know what you've seen here at the start, and I've seen some of the trailers, and I've watched a bit of other people's YouTube videos, Total Biscuits, Jim Sterling's videos, I watched the interviews that the people behind the game, the company called the Astronauts, have released, and all of the and well, I don't know if all of them, but most of the trailers for this game are things that I watched as well. So I mean, all of those things combined have helped me, get interested in playing the game. But I'm not really good at adventure games, and I really don't know much about this game. Like it said at the beginning, it doesn't hold your hand, so there's no tutorial, as you can see. There's just on the fly sort of gameplay elements that may get explained to you, but maybe that explanation won't be, immediately clear from the beginning, which is my way of saying that if I suck at playing this game, and if I make a fool of myself by not seeing or doing obvious things that may be obvious to you, I'm going to apologize beforehand for all of that. Also, what I said at the beginning, that this is essentially one of the first really cold days of autumn here where I live. Yeah. Woke up with a bit of a headache because temperatures dropped really low during the night, and I really don't like when that happens. And so right now I'm drinking a little bit of tea, which is almost cold, unfortunately. I have some warm clothes on. I have my glasses on, which I hate. Especially when I'm feeling like this. I don't like wearing my glasses, but I have to because otherwise I wouldn't be able to see anything from the game. And I've got my sexy Barry White voice, Barry White styled voice. Hello there, people of YouTube. And I'm trying to play this game. And I'm walking around like an idiot crouched. Now, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a strangeness to the way the camera moves. This game employs a technique which I've never heard of called camera smoothing. It's supposed to make these sort of pans and camera movements less jarring. As far as I can tell, there's a small delay between when I turn the mouse and when the camera turns, and you can still see, you can still move the mouse around really fast and the camera will respond, but there's, like, if you try to play it smoothly, the game actually has technology to help you do that, which is pretty damn cool. So we're playing Paul Prospero, a detective that's also famous, a detective who's also famous, and who also specializes, I think, in weird cases with some supernatural elements to them. And I like myself some supernatural elements, especially in my tea. And we're looking for Ethan Carter, who vanished, as per the game's title, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Maybe they should hire Keanu Reeves and make a movie out of this game. Paul Prospero knew too much. Hey, man. Like, where's the kid, dude? Yeah, sorry about the lame jokes. So let's get started. We just came out of this tunnel. So, which leads me to believe that there's no train traffic. Interesting. Yep. Welcome to our little piece of the world. It's a beautiful place. We got beautiful weather, and we're welcoming you with a cracked skull. Hold left mouse for sense. Oh yeah, I've seen this. So basically, one of your character's abilities, I haven't played the whole game or seen the whole game to know what the other ones are, is this: the ability to sort of get visions of things that aren't where you are, they're in a different place, and you get a vision to see where they're located, or maybe visions of things that, I don't know, haven't yet happened. Now, I know from cheating and seeing other people's videos that what I'm getting here is just one piece of the whole vision, and I have to find the other traps to get all of the visions. You can get some of the visions some of the time, but you can never get all of the visions all of the time. Yeah. I'm probably gonna make stupid jokes the entire video. I'm really liking the graphics though. Whoa. That was unexpected. I thought that was going to be an invisible wall. Damn, that scared me. Okay, so an extra piece of the vision. That scared me. It was a bit unexpected. The thing about this game is it sort of, from what I've seen, has some sort of... okay, that's another trap. Ha ha ha, game. Can't scare me now, can ya? I see you there, Trappy. So, the thing about this game, from what I can tell, and from what you've been able to see, it has some sort of open world elements, which means it's going to be really easy for me to mess things up, because I have this tendency, ooh, what's there? Ooh, what's that? And I don't follow through with one of the things that I've started doing. For example, here it could have been easy for me to go check out that tree or whatever else is out there instead of just trying to find all of the traps. So I'm going to try to focus and do one thing at a time. Had this been any sort of like Skyrim or any other sort of game where you're running through the forest, that my play style of running around doing willy-nilly things, doing things willy-nilly and randomly, might not have been a problem. But in a narrative-driven game, which this is supposed to be, you kind of have to stick with things, because otherwise you're not going to get, like, you're going to get a story in jumbled pieces, and I don't want that. Oh, I love that. The writing appears behind the... yeah, that's really cool. Like, the writing is stuck in one place. It's fixed. It moves around with you, but it doesn't, like... it doesn't show up on this side of the trap, only on this side. That's a really cool touch. And you want to know why that's a really cool touch in terms of design? Because it forces you to come over on this side and see the spikes. Oh, I kind of know the location of some of these traps. But that was, I mean, that, come on, they're trying to crack your skull, spike you to death, and then cut off your leg. We're getting close. That's a meat grinder. Damn. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so yep, is that? I think this is the tree that I was, whoa, these are not rocks. Damn. These are... oh yeah. I mean, you can probably tell what they are. Let me show you. Skeletons, skulls. This is some sort of mass... oh, this, I don't think this is a mass grave though. I mean, it's in a vision, so... what I usually expect things to be in visions is they have a sort of metaphorical value. Now that says read, but I don't want to do that yet because I want to make sure that... yep, This actually is the tree that I was interested in checking out earlier. See, so I would have messed up this entire thing. That's actually ash. That's something about burning. I mean, but since there's like grass and stuff growing through the ash and through the skulls, I think the implication is that there was a fire or a cremation or something like a while back, like a long time ago. But it's not like through the entire... Nope, see, this is where it kind of ends. So it has to be related to this tree. This tree is the focal point. Oh boy, but this is nasty anyway. But it's sort of like less nasty. I mean, the lighting changed. It's a bit more somber, but I mean, this is still a beautiful place, and with warm, inviting lighting, it kind of takes away from the like creepy factor of this mass cremation, fire burning, whatever you want to call it, site. Let's see what this is. Sap by Ethan Carter. So I can get the text separately, or I can read the thing itself. I'm gonna try and read the thing itself. I think it adds to the atmosphere. An old man came to the forest every day to drink sap from the trees. To get there, the old man had to step around many dangerous traps. The traps that I ran into? Maybe. The villagers believed this old man have hidden a jade amulet in the forest. Jade amulet. That's interesting. But the old man wanted the villagers to believe this, because then they would search the forest for treasure and not drink his sap. One cool fall night, someone set fire to the forest, and the fire spread to the village. The old man escaped the fire by covering himself in sap. When he returned to the village, he found all the villagers' bones. The old man sat down and cried, then found more sap to drink. Whoa. Whoa. That's... That's a house. Burning down, a forest, some mountains. There's a drawing of of this story here, but if it's by Ethan Carter, and we know Ethan is a kid, is this some sort of metaphor for someone having died?
Ethan, I told you, you can't be here.
But Gramp, I wrote something for you.
That's real nice. Thank you. Just leave it. I'll read it later.
Sap. Yeah. Sap means whiskey. This is the same thing, yeah. So what, his grandfather came here to drink, and there was some fire. Oh yeah, here we go. One Dead in House Fire by Jeff... What? Jermu? Okay. Bayfield County fire damaged a historic home in Red Creek Valley Wednesday morning, according to officials from the Bayfield County Fire Department. A family of 6 was asleep when the blaze broke out at the remote house once owned by Albert Vandegrift by the Ogden Lake in Red Creek Valley. Gail Carter, 58, was pronounced dead at the scene. Let me zoom in a little bit. Remaining family members were able to escape. Carter's husband, Edwin, 62, told investigators he may have fallen asleep with a lit cigarette in his hand. Okay. Damn. Firefighters were dispatched to the scene at 1:22 a.m. and remained at the scene until around 5 a.m. Okay, so we get more text actually by reading it like this. They returned to the property 4 hours later to extinguish hotspots which had rekindled. Assisting at the initial fire was the Ashland Township Volunteer Fire Department. Masonville Emergency Medical Services was on standby at the scene. After heated public, this is the other side of the, like if you flip it around. After heated public hearing, no answers for Vandegrift heirs by Tom Auden. Members of the Vandegrift family again gathered in the Bayfield County Courthouse today to debate the fate of the Vandegrift fortune, which has remained in escrow since 1961 when family patriarch Albert Vandegrift, 71, died in a mine accident, the after effects of which nearly destroyed Vandegrift industrial and severely damaged the local economy. James Vandegrift, 38, of Chicago, argued that his father's demands were unreasonable and that many Vandegrift family members have personal reasons for wanting to avoid living in Red Creek Valley on the Vandegrift estate, as stipulated in the elder Vandegrift's will. The recent fire in which the Vandegrift home was damaged, he said, only underlined his family's concerns. Since 1967, the Carter family has lived upon the former Vandegrift estate as temporary caretakers. So, yeah, from what I understand, there's this Vandegrift house which belonged to this guy who died in a mine. Albert Vandegrift died in a mine accident. Okay, so Albert Vandegrift. Let's keep that in mind because I'm gonna probably run into that name later on. So Albert Vandegrift was living in his house, died in a mine. His son, James Vandegrift, 38, does not want to live in the house. He doesn't want to live in the house. Like, and no one else does, but this guy, Albert, like, wanted to force everyone to live in the house as part of his will. But the house wasn't empty, it was occupied by the Carter family, caretakers of this house. Okay. Ethan Carter's like grandparents, I think, right? And Grandpa fell asleep with a lit cigarette because he was kind of drunk, killed Grandma, and destroyed the house. Well, let me go back to that first part. It doesn't say, but I don't know. I mean, a fire that could kill someone, I think, would at least damage the house. Damn, so seems to me like, what? Spoilers, maybe? the two are related. Albert Vandergrift dying in a mine, and Edwin being an alcoholic that ends up killing his wife accidentally, but still. And Ethan having supernatural abilities. I mean, there's places in the world where other people don't even dare to watch, but Ethan could throw you a map. Kind of sounds like. And where's the trap? The traps are gone. Right? The traps are gone. So this kid Ethan, I'm gonna mispronounce that. This kid Ethan, he's got supernatural powers as per the game's description, or at least that's what I'm thinking about. And what is one of his powers to manipulate reality? Because the traps are gone. The kid was writing about Grandpa having to walk through the forest to drink his whiskey and avoiding dangerous traps, which I don't think it was actually true. I think Grandpa was not avoiding anything. The dangerous part being the forest itself, you know, rocks, steep inclines, and, you know, breaking your leg and stuff. Those are the dangers. Getting mauled by vicious wild animals. Who knows? Okay, this is interesting. I'm liking this so far, but boy is that grim. I mean, how the hell does one go on living when... I don't know if Grandpa was an alcoholic before he killed his wife, or... Yeah, but that's what the story Ethan wrote said. Basically, he came to the forest to drink his sap, aka whiskey or booze or whatever, rum, and that wasn't good. Okay, interesting. So he fell asleep with a lit cigarette due to being drunk, burned down the house, killed his wife. They were both living in Albert Vandergrift's house. The guy died strangely in a mine. Ooh. I mean, look at this. I mean, every single moment of gameplay here can be a wallpaper. It's this good looking. So these guys living in that dude's house. The dude had died in a mine. His kids didn't want to live in the house. Said that the dude having killed his wife wasn't an accident. It was just part of the reason why they didn't want to live in the house. Okay. Either the house, like there's a poltergeist or something there, you know, or it's something's wrong with the house. There's a curse on it, or what else? The valley itself. Yeah, the valley itself has some sort of crazy supernatural place where bad things happen. Kind of like my first school, you know. That was a bad joke. Didn't know where I was going with that. Anyway, I think it's time to move on because I don't seem to find... I can't find like anything else to do around here. Bridge closed. Do not enter. I kind of have to. So this is where the train would have come through, but it's obvious why it's not at the moment.
Red Creek Valley seemed like a quiet, ordinary place. I've learned two things in my life. No place is truly quiet, and nowhere is really ordinary. Ethan warned me about that. Warned me not to be fooled by what I saw here. He didn't need to worry. I'd worked dozens of cases, hundreds. This would be my last one.
Okay, this bridge is actually kind of creepy. And the noises. I don't know if you guys can easily hear those, but it's creaking. There's this dust coming like from the trees and off of the bridge. And the wind makes it, yeah, ugh. I wouldn't feel comfortable walking on, whoa, quiet now. I wouldn't feel comfortable walking on this bridge. But the game sure does look pretty. Train car. And blood. What? I missed it. Come on. So I'm getting a vision of where the crank is. It's like on the shore of the lake, or I think it's a lake. Oh yeah, of the lake. Like leaned on some rocks, leaning on some rocks, yeah. Okay. So that's how this guy's powers work. But without a crankshaft, I can't start this thing, so yeah. The graphics are impressive, though. For what's essentially an adventure game, this looks pretty badass. So, I think we've done enough for one episode already. I think I'm gonna leave it here, and follow up on this train car. Apparently they were working on fixing the bridge, but I'm gonna follow up on this train car thing in the next episode, guys. Until then, please join us on weekendslice.com, join us on our Twitter feed, subscribe to YouTube, please, kind of helps out, and or watch the videos. Either way, I'm happy. I need to see, at least I'd like to see people being interested in the videos that I put up. And let me know if you like this game and if you find it interesting. Until the next time, guys, have a good one and stay safe. Stay cozy. Don't get a cold. Stay healthy. Hope you had fun during this video. I know I did. I wonder what this train car story is going to be. I'm gonna see this next time. Until then, bye.